Jessica Bennett, Feminist Fight Club, an Office Survival Manual for a Sexist Workplace. Welcome to the vibrant world of Feminist Fight Club, an Office Survival Manual for a Sexist Workplace, where Jessica Bennett guides women in overcoming the verbal and nonverbal tactics that men employ to undermine their success. In this summary, you'll learn ways to counter challenges like manterruptions, bropriation, unfounded assumptions, and self-sabotage. Discover how collaboration, mentorship, and solidarity among women can beat outdated norms and pave the way for overall success in the workplace. Unveil the secrets to boosting self-confidence and negotiating prowess, and see the tremendous impact of powerful speech patterns on one's credibility.
Combating workplace inequality. The actions of men like Kanye West, who interrupted Taylor Swift during her acceptance speech, exemplify the verbal dominance men assert over women, sometimes silencing them. To stand strong against such verbal and nonverbal tactics, women should continue speaking, advocate for no-interruption policies, claim credit for their accomplishments, support their female peers, and resist derogatory assumptions. Additionally, fighting back against condescending explanations, mansplaining, and refuting stereotypes tied to biology can help dismantle workplace inequality. The Kanye West and Taylor Swift incident in 2009 showcased how men can dominate women through verbal force, causing women's voices to be suppressed. To counteract such verbal dominance, also known as manterruptions, women must continue speaking and advocate for no-interruption policies in their workplaces. Bropriation is another form of undermining women's contribution, where men take credit for a woman's work or ideas. In response, women should confidently claim their accomplishments and support their female colleagues who may not get the recognition they deserve. Alongside these actions, addressing and curtailing mansplaining, a man's condescending explanation to a woman, can help prevent further verbal dominance. Beyond verbal tactics, nonverbal actions such as expecting women to complete menial tasks like coffee runs or note-taking during meetings can lower their perceived worth within the workplace. To tackle such nonverbal belittlement, women should refuse to comply with these demeaning expectations. Lastly, women's emotions are often wrongly attributed to biology by their male counterparts, undermining their legitimate feelings. To challenge this problematic assumption, women can proactively communicate the real causes of their emotions or distress. By confidently asserting themselves in these situations, women can solidify their voices in professional settings and work towards dismantling gender-based power dynamics. Empowering women at work. Women often inadvertently hinder their own career growth due to imposter syndrome and societal expectations. To overcome these hurdles, they must build self-confidence and cultivate a supportive network instead of competing against each other. Striking a balance between work and personal life is also crucial for success and well-being. Historical stereotypes paint women as the weaker sex, which may cause them to feel inadequate and even sabotage their own opportunities in the workplace. One manifestation of this is imposter syndrome, a pervasive sense of self-doubt and insecurity that can hinder career advancement. Similarly, adopting an overly humble office mom persona can lead to undervaluing oneself professionally. To combat these tendencies, women should improve their self-confidence by practicing power poses, such as striking a superheroine stance. Studies show that doing so, even for just 2 minutes, can boost both testosterone and confidence levels. This practice can empower women to break free from self-limiting beliefs and embrace their true potential. However, excessive pressure to be perfect, or perfectionism, can also negatively impact women in the workplace. Female employees are twice as likely as their male counterparts to feel extremely exhausted or worn out. To address this issue, women should focus on achieving a healthy work-life balance. This includes reducing overtime, managing stress, and dedicating time to care for oneself. Moreover, women frequently find themselves in competition with one another, thereby perpetuating their subordinate role in the workplace. The femininity phenomenon, where women attempt to discredit and demean their female peers to get ahead, only serves to reinforce this unhealthy dynamic. In order to dismantle these harmful attitudes, women should actively support one another by hiring, promoting, and mentoring their fellow female colleagues. It is essential for women to embrace solidarity and call out destructive behaviors to pave the way for a more equitable and unified workplace. Former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright poignantly emphasizes the significance of this bond. There is a very special place in hell for women who don't support other women. Dismantling gender-based leadership bias. Women in leadership roles face constant challenges and misconceptions around their competence and authority, owing to centuries-old gender biases. The deeply ingrained belief that leadership is an inherently male characteristic poses challenges for women, which can be overcome through female collaboration, networking, and support. Successful women must work together, ensuring that their voices are heard, and ignore derogatory comments to help pave the way to equitable leadership. Additionally, women must learn to avoid taking responsibility for organizational failures that predate their tenure and have a clear understanding of their roles and responsibilities. Decisions around leadership positions have long been influenced by gender biases that favor men over women. Contrary to popular belief, women are not the problem, it's the perception of leadership as a male domain that needs to change. To counter this, women in power should work together, forming mentorships and networks, with the understanding that their success paves the way for future female leaders. Women in positions of authority often struggle to assert their intelligence, facing stereotypes that question their capabilities. Comments like, "You don't look like an engineer," trivialize women's achievements and undermine their expertise. The key to countering these comments is to let your intelligence and hard work speak for themselves. In workplace meetings, women can face difficulties making their voices heard, particularly when they're the only female presence. Supporting and amplifying each other's voices is vital in ensuring that female perspectives are not ignored. A major challenge faced by women in leadership roles is the glass cliff phenomenon. Essentially, a woman is hired to lead a failing company and is held responsible when the company fails, regardless of prior circumstances. A well-known example is Carly Fiorina, former CEO of Hewlett-Packard, who was blamed for the company's devastating financial loss following the burst of the dot-com bubble. To prevent being scapegoated, women must maintain records of the company's previous performance and ensure their responsibilities are clearly defined before taking up their role. Master your speech patterns. The power of your speech lies not only in the words you choose, but also in your vocal patterns. Women, in particular, often fall victim to a range of common speech habits that undermine their credibility. Fillers such as like and along with unnecessary apologies, weaken their message. Furthermore, hedges and phrases like "I feel like" create a sense of doubt, even if they're correct in their statements. Two additional concerns for females are upspeak, raising the pitch at the end of a sentence, and vocal fry, which is the elongation of vowels, appearing creaky or croaky. To combat these undermining behaviors, women should focus on speaking with clarity, confidence, and authority, free of fillers, and devoid of upspeak or fry. Implementing these changes will ultimately result in increased respect in both professional and personal settings. Mastering negotiation for women. Negotiation can be a challenging task, particularly for women who face unique obstacles such as the wage gap and the risk of being perceived as pushy. To overcome these hurdles and become skilled negotiators, women should utilize persuasion tactics, gather evidence, and practice their responses. Keeping track of individual contributions, seeking support from colleagues, and using resources like Glassdoor will help when negotiating for a fair salary. If faced with rejection, persisting until provided with an explanation is crucial. Sharing wisdom and experiences with other women will not only empower them but also contribute to bridging the wage gap and achieving greater workplace equality.
Jessica Bennett's Feminist Fight Club sheds light on the various challenges women face in a sexist workplace, offering valuable strategies to counter them and empowering readers to change the narrative. From confronting habitual mansplaining to transforming self-perception and speech patterns, Bennett's practical tips help dismantle stereotypes and establish a fair environment. By fostering collaboration and mentorship among women and learning to negotiate more effectively, women stand a better chance at achieving success and closing gender gaps. The key takeaway: know your worth, channel your inner superhero, and remember that solidarity and collaboration will ultimately triumph over outdated norms and systemic biases.